What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Thursday evening, and the reason for the video is I have to go and respond to minimum security Sean G. The reason being is apparently he's triggered by my last video about where's the money at, which I have a right to ask, on behalf of the people that donated to make sure that their money is being used in the right place. So he goes and pops out some receipts saying, just to be clear with you. Well, guess what? The great one's going to be clear with you and all the other audience. And therefore, by giving you guys this information, you can make a well-informed decision as far as to whether you wish to donate to him in the future if you think your money is going to the right place. Now, I don't care if you're just donating just because he's an entertaining spook and everything, and he's like a dancing monkey and everything. That's perfectly fine if you're donating. But the reason why the vast majority of people that donated to this was simply to help out your little son, your child, your offspring, go play baseball. So I have examined the receipts. The great one has examined the receipts, and I have made even more observations that has made me curious. I'm not saying that, you didn't spend money. Obviously, traveling does cost money, but some of the things are a little bit wonky there. He claims that, and let me just pull this up here. Full disclosure, we spent a total of $2,026. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and check all the receipts here. Now, obviously, he's going to fly. Looks like the cheap seats here. He spent the total for him and his offspring $525.32. That's legitimate. That's a legitimate fee. And folks, the great one has his trusty calculator. The same thing I use to process medical claims. Okay? So I got my calculator here. So let's go ahead and start adding. That's $525.32. Okay, I'll give you that, Sean. Let's check the next receipt. All right, so this here, I believe, is for your car. Now, the total amount, payment method, is $309.04. Now, folks, here's the thing. Whenever you rent a car out, you do have to put a deposit down in insurance and everything like that. So, and it says clearly right here, your deposit refund. The amount on the deposit will be released within 24 hours after your rental invoice is closed. So, obviously, we don't know what his deposit was. Usually, whenever I rent a car, it's $200 here. Okay? So, that number, I would say, is going to be a little bit lower than 309. But we're going to go ahead and add that in. $309.04. Like I said. That equals $834.36. All right, next receipt. Now, who gave you permission to buy clothes? Did you decide to go on a shopping spree or something? Casey Ruse Gold? It's kind of strange because you would think that he already has these clothes. Okay, I'll go ahead and accept that, all right? Kid has to have some clothes for baseball. Let's just pretend that he didn't have any clothes to begin with. So we'll add in $162. That's $996.36. So we still got $1,000 left to go before we get $2,026. Last receipt. All right, so this here, I believe, is going to be the tournament fee. That is legitimate. In my opinion, that's usually a cost for a tournament fee. So I will accept the amount in full. So that equals up to, and like I said, I'm just going by the receipts that he's published. That is, and I'll just show you guys this here. That is $1,360.88. Sean is claiming that he spent $2,026. Okay. Now, accounting for food and everything, that's about 700 and some dollars. I'm sorry, but fried chicken and watermelon, you can't spend $700 worth of fried chicken and watermelon in the course of like 2 or 3 days. So where's the rest of the money at here? Where's the money? Where's the money, you porch monkey? Where's the money at? $2,026? That doesn't even add that. And this amount, folks, is going to be lower simply because he has a deposit in that car fee. He has a deposit. All right. So this is, look right here, folks. That's $1,360.88. I will give $200 for food cost here, but even with that, that's $1,560. Where's the other $500 at, Sean? Where's the rest of the money at? Okay. I even threw in $200 for food because I mean that gives you some really good meals. You can have meals at Hall's Chop House or so forth, or you can, I don't know. I went in and threw $200 in. Okay, nice meals all through the course, but even with that, that's over $500 that's missing here. So where's the money at, Sean? Where's the money at? Where is the money? Where'd you spend the money on? Huh? What did you spend the money on? Where's the money at? Huh? That's not $2,026 here, folks. That's $1,360, and me, the great one, added $200 for food on my own fruition, even though he didn't publish it because I know he's going to have to spend money for him and his child for food. But even with that, that's $1,560. Don't forget, you got to take money away for the deposit for the car that he's going to get back. So where's the money? You're not fooling anyone here, Sean, okay? You're pocketing some of that money, I believe. I can't prove that you're pocketing the money. I mean, you've already pocketed $4,000, so there's that. You said you're going back. When are you going back? When's the schedule? I thought you were disappointed in your son's performance in baseball and that he was only doing it for you. So are you really is your son really gonna go back on the tournament or so forth? Answer the question. There has to be an accountability to money, folks. I put the numbers. Calculator don't lie. And I took all his receipts, and I even personally added an extra $200. That's $1,560 there. And you claim you spent $2,026. Where's the money at? How much fried chicken and watermelon did you and your son eat? Okay? Definitely not $500 worth. Or excuse me, $700. Don't forget I threw $200. $200 is more than enough money for fried chicken and watermelon. Where's the money at? Where's the money at? All right? Sean, I mean, like I said, you're not fooling me. I ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. All right? Your numbers ain't adding up there. Much like the fact that your numbers don't add up doesn't surprise me. That's why you went to prison for, because your numbers didn't add up. You're good at fudging numbers, but a calculator don't lie. Okay? A calculator does not lie. Where's the money at? Where's the money at? So you put out these receipts. That's fresh meat for a dog like me who knows how to add and subtract. Okay? You're not fooling anyone, okay? You're definitely not fooling me. Man, the thing about it is I can't prove where the money went. If there's other receipts, we would like to see them. I believe that the people that donated to you deserve the receipt. Where's the other receipts at? And like I said before, folks, I threw $200 in for food. Okay? I threw $200. The great one was gracious and threw $200 in for food, even though the fact that as far as the fees are concerned, like I said, this doesn't make any bit of sense here. Okay? It makes no sense. None. Where's the money at? Okay? Where is the money? Okay? And where's the hotel fees at anyway? I know the hotel ain't that much. Maybe there's hotel fees or something like that, but I would seriously doubt it. Hotels are cheap where they're at. You ain't got to spend much. Eco Lodge, $30. Okay? There's a lot of money missing, Sean. All right? But, like I said before, the people that donated to Sean, I mean, they're geeks. They're geeks. You guys have been hoodwinked and bamboozled, okay? hoodwinked and bamboozled. But that's all I gotta say, Sean. Your numbers just don't add up there. Sorry. They don't add up whatsoever. But that's it. I've had enough of this spook, okay? I've had enough talking about the spook, you know. Get your numbers right. You're not fooling anyone, Sean.